building. High priestess in the building, didn't let my fears kill me. Transmuted my pain in that cleanse in the rain. Down out, I was worth it and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became.
What does have goals? Like, let's say you have your goals, I have my goals. To me, there's also like, if you are willing to take time with that person, I think that's still the greatest thing you could do, because you're not looking for someone to just fill in their time slot with you and your goals. Like both people need to have their own happinesses. And just because we're like, let's say we're on a date right now, and you're like, I want to live here. I was like, oh, well, I want to live there. And that can't just be the only deal breaker. Like, if you have great vibes with someone, you let that time ride out and enjoy that connection, build it up, because so many variables can change. But I still think it's really important to find someone that does have their own things that they would like to do, or their goals are. Because otherwise, that's saying someone's just looking for you to light their life up. Someone's just going to be like, oh, yes, me too. But we all need to have our own things. And I don't think it's hard to find someone to match or complement you with. It's just finding your own rhythm. Like, I realized I don't sleep normally like most people. I'll go to bed at 3 a.m. or sometimes I won't sleep at all. It just happens. I rather do certain things. So I got to find someone to compliment me with that in some way.
Right.
It's just going to happen. Settling is, I think, more so, okay, right now it kind of annoys me a little bit that they do this, but I really like them a lot. So I'm willing to unconditionally love them for who they are. But then there's the settling, which is, I don't know what else is there in the world, so I might as well do it now.
Right.
And then it's going to crash and burn. So
it's not going to work. I'm not saying that, you should pick at someone that you're dating, right? But I think you have to be realistic, because I'm the type of energy where if I say this is my geographical location and yours is way across the country, that is a deal breaker, because I'm not moving because of love. I'm not doing it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not relocating for love. That's not going to happen for me. That might be something that someone else is okay with. And I think you have to be true to yourself when you're dating. I think you need to be honest about that, not the delusional hope that, okay, maybe it'll change and you play the role. But at the end of the day, damn well you don't want to fucking go move to Arkansas, and you're in this other state. I think there has to be some honesty behind it when you're having these conversations, that alignment. If you're up all night and this is a person who fucking goes to bed at 9, how is that gonna fucking work? This person is going to be pissed off and mad every time the light is on. They hear something, I can't go to sleep. And there goes the arguments, because we didn't take the time to say, yeah, our chemistry was great, but we weren't in alignment. We're not doing the same things. We don't vibe the same way. Our lives are totally different. We're two separate people. Well, you can have chemistry with millions of people. There's billions of people on this earth, and chemistry is there with millions. Doesn't mean you have to try with all of them. I think you got to be authentic to who you are. The real relationships work when people compromise and work together, right? But you also have to be authentically you in that space. I don't know.
I'm very sarcastic. And if I can't be with someone who's even in a weird moment where I drop some sarcasm and enjoys it, that's how I kind of lighten the mood. And if that's not gonna go,
and they're pissed off and mad at it, So I want to touch because I think a lot of problem also, especially on the men's side, is the inability to connect with your femininity. Okay, so we all know that as well. We don't all know, because a lot of us weren't taught this shit, that we both carry masculine and feminine energy within and have that balance within. Do you find, and I know today more women are in their masculine energy, which is kind of throws a lot of things off, because even myself, being a single mom, I had to go into my masculine energy to be the provider, to be the go, do this, do that, get shit done, because there was nobody else going to do it for me. So then I've had to learn, and I'm still learning how to get into my feminine energy and what that means for me to be in that energy. So I see it as the masculine struggle with that, to be that receiver, to be that taking in, to just be in that energy. So how hard is it as men to truly understand what that means? And are you even there yet, truly there?
If I don't want to say I'm ever really truly there, because I want to say I just get little surfaces of when I do get there, but it is just even recently, because it's from my life, it's been, you go through this, you learn this, and then you kind of go back to revisit something. It's like, oh, I also didn't see that. So I thought I was loving myself. And what was happening was I would be like, okay, wake up, smoke a cigarette. I'll actually have coffee. What am I doing next? And then I'll go out for a ride, go to Dunkin' Donuts for some reason, go to the river. So I thought I was like loving myself. And I was also listening to motivational speeches because they helped me with getting in my mental state, but also pushing out work, like when I want to do something creative. But I was also avoiding a deeper emotion. And I was getting burnt out. And I had to stop. And I went through a lot of like things I had to sort through on my own. But I got to this point, which is actually getting up in the morning. I smoked a cigarette, had my coffee, and went, no. And I heard, what's next? And I went, nope. I had to actually go outside, lay in the grass, put affirmations on, and like force my inner being to just chill. That to me was the feminine aspect as well. That's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Career-wise, I'm a chef and also I have automotive skills. So I was actually around all women at one point and then all men at one point. So my reality was like feminine energy, masculine energy. Like,
Right.
I was like, wow, this is interesting. I'm very observant. So I don't think it has to feel or be known in a specific manner. As long as you're aware of your surroundings is one thing, your creative, emotional side, your peaceful side. There's also learning in those energies too. But for me, just even recently, and my journey's been like, I want to say 6 years of my soul awakening. We got to know that.
Right.
Was actually laying in the grass and going, oh my God, I wasn't just sitting with myself to just let my thoughts clear. And that was what I felt. The closest so far I've been to the feminine energy.
Okay.
But love, self-love.
Yeah, I'm not all the way there, but definitely, like, I'm a single parent like you. And when I have my son, you know, you have to play both roles. And I didn't have to do that before. You know, I was just the dad or whatever. And I didn't have to show, you know, that love, that caring, that patience, you know, that
Right.
it's a different thing. And I feel like spending time alone with my son and not having like a woman to turn to or him having his mom to go to, it's really like had me more in touch with that. And, you know, I see that, you know, how hard it would be like if it was just me raising him, how hard it is for single parents, you know, like
Right.
if his mom wasn't in his life to play both roles, because it's hard to toe that line where you want to be hard on him, but you also understand like sometimes he just needs a hug, like, and he just needs to be told that he's loved and, you know, that you care, like you want to hear him out on something instead of being like, you know, pick yourself up. You'll be all right. Get over
Right. Dust it off.
Yeah, dust it off. It'll be fine.
Wow, that's an awesome because
Right.
I'm a dad and I really think that's a great, for me to say it's a great experience to have your son and see it that way.
Right.
Because it reminded me of like, I love my grandfather, but he wasn't the type of person to say I love you to anyone. And then my mother, she was more emotional. So it's like there's so many different experiences. And to even see you as a single dad, you're like, I understand it though in this way. That's awesome.
Hell yeah, because you know, you guys as men know the men before you didn't have that and didn't show that nurturing side. It was very hard for them, if any, had that nurturing capability. And tapping into that is key, very, very key for men. So now I was working and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became.